I've been told by a fellow officer that you've been verbally abusive in a public place, which would be a Section 4A public order.
I have it all
offence.
recorded, officer.
That's fine. Please,
She's
officer.
lied to you. Now you threatened me with arrest, which has now made me have to give my details. So I will have to make a call to my solicitor.
Welcome to the Audit Assessor. Over here, we break down encounters between the public and the police. We examine the law, the conduct, and the context so you know your rights, their responsibilities, and where the line is drawn. Thanks to News Now Yorkshire for letting us cover and break down this police audit. Make sure to subscribe to his channel and like his videos. His link is in the description below. In this episode, News Now Yorkshire is flying his drone outside a police station when a sergeant decides the situation needs force, not facts. She claims he's sworn at her, something the footage doesn't support, and instead of dealing with him directly, she brings in other officers to act on that allegation. From that moment, the threat of arrest is used to extract his details, not to address any real offense. This becomes policing by allegation, not evidence. And it only runs one way. It doesn't end with officers proving a point. It ends with News Now Yorkshire taking them to court. Because when a sergeant sets the tone with a false claim, the fallout is inevitable.
When a sergeant decides the situation needs force, not facts. She claims he's sworn at her, something the footage doesn't support, and instead of dealing with him directly, she brings in other officers to act on that allegation. From that moment, the threat of arrest is used to extract his details, not to address any real offence. This becomes policing by allegation, not evidence, and it only runs one way. It doesn't end with officers proving a point, it ends with News Now Yorkshire taking them to court, because when a sergeant sets the tone with a false claim, the fallout is inevitable.
For any particular purpose, is it a hobby, is it a research project, anything like that?
I don't know yet, at the minute.
Okay.
Just sort of flying around, see what happens.
Right. I understand an officer's just tried to have a word with you on the way into the car park.
She sort of shouted at me in a plainclothes personal car, so I didn't have a clue who she was.
Apparently you've told her to pee off.
Did I?
That's what she said to us. If that's the case, that's not acceptable, is it?
Well, that's why we wear independent witnesses that never lie.
Right. What do you mean by that? Right, okay. Well, yeah, I've got mine on as well, so...
Well, thanks for letting me know.
Can I take your details, just so we know what you're doing, and you're recorded on our systems, and we've got the fact what you're doing, and to make sure you're not up to no good?
No, I'd rather not, if that's okay.
Okay. Why is that?
Because I haven't done anything wrong.
Well, I just need to make sure that you're not, like, sort of in line with any terrorist groups or anything like that that you could be using for hostile reconnaissance or anything of that nature.
Do you suspect I'm a terrorist officer?
Well, I don't know until I speak to you. Do I, until I take your details and check you through.
Is that what you do with everybody?
If you're being verbally abusive to people, then you have technically committed a public order offence, for which I would require your details.
Okay.
They approach him already running with a story that he swore at the sergeant and treat it as established fact. News Now Yorkshire doesn't get pulled into a back and forth. He cuts straight through it by pointing to his bottom camera and reminding them exactly why independent recording exists. That matters because it exposes the imbalance immediately. One side has a spoken allegation, the other has footage. Then comes the pivot to something far heavier. When he refuses to give his details, the justification suddenly becomes checking whether he's aligned with any terrorist groups. That
Asking
isn't
you
a
for your details.
What happens if I don't give my details?
Then you're potentially committing an offence.
Well, I will...
It's a lot easier if you do, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't want to give my details.
Okay.
I will if you tell me that I'll be arrested if I don't.
Well, potentially you may be, yeah. It may make your arrest necessary under Section 24 of the Police and Criminal Evidence Act, because your name and address can't be verified. Right. And I've got reasonable grounds to suspect that you've committed an offence.
What reasonable grounds is that?
But I've been told by a fellow officer that you've been verbally abusive in a public place, which would be a Section 4A public order.
I have it all
offence.
recorded, officer.
That's fine.
Do you want me to show you the recording?
Not at the moment, but I want...
Because I could show you the recording.
I want you to...
And then you would know.
Details, and I've explained it to you. You've asked me to explain it to you, and I've laid it out simply.
This is where the logic collapses completely. They claim a public order offense has been committed, not because of anything happening, but because the sergeant says so. When News Now Yorkshire asks what happens if he doesn't give his details, the answer is circular. Then he's potentially committed another offense, which potentially justifies arrest. That isn't law. It's threat recycling. Invoking Section 24, PACE only exposes it further. Arrest necessity can't rest on rank or convenience. It needs evidence. Here, the only basis is a colleague's claim, even after footage is offered that would settle it instantly. They refuse to look, and that refusal matters. When officers avoid evidence that could clear the situation, it exposes intent.
I can't believe she lied to you, officer. I have got it all recorded though, just so you know.
You can, if you want to make a complaint.
Yeah, I will be making a complaint straight away. Yeah, definitely, definitely.
I haven't got
Is that what she actually said to you? I told her to pee off.
As I drove out of the gate, she was driving in and she said, "Will I have a word with you?"
Yeah.
Because she'd spoken to you and you told her to, I'm not going to say the full word, but pee off. You understand what I mean by that?
I understand what you're saying, but she's lying to you, you know that, don't you?
Well, if she's lying to me, she's lying to me. If it's on your camera, then you've got grounds for a complaint.
Yeah, 100%, yeah.
But I'm not lying to you. I can only go about.
You know, last time this happened, I got £1,000 for it, you know?
Right.
Yeah. That was at Humberside though.
What was that? What was that in relation to though?
Because someone said I was committing antisocial behaviour, so the officer unlawfully used Section 50 of the Police Reform Act to gain my details, just like you've unlawfully used Section 5 to gain my details.
Okay.
And then they offered me £1,000 for my trouble.
I haven't used Section 5.
Oh, did you use?
You've potentially committed an offence under Section 4A of the Public Order Act.
Oh, okay. Section 4A.
Yeah.
And that requires me to give my details.
It doesn't require you to give your details.
You just told me it did.
What I'm saying, no, you're twisting my words.
They box him in with a made-up necessity. If we can't identify you, we'll arrest you to identify you. That isn't how arrest powers work. It's officers deciding they want his details and using arrest as the tool to get them. Arrest can't exist just to overcome non-cooperation, and it certainly can't rest on one untested suspicion. At that point, the so-called reasonable grounds aren't reasonable at all. They're convenient, and that's why the threat works. Faced with being taken in on a circular excuse, he gives his details to stop the escalation, not because the law requires it, but because pressure has been engineered to leave no practical alternative. Compliance gained through threatened misuse of power isn't consent. It's submission.
What I'm saying to you is because I've got reasonable grounds to suspect that you've committed an offence. Yeah. If you don't give me your details, it may make your arrest necessary under Section 24 of PACE.
Oh, okay.
Because your name and address cannot be verified.
Right.
And I suspect that you've committed an offence.
Well, that's the full explanation. Thank you for that.
That's what I said to you the first time.
Well, I didn't get that explanation, so maybe you didn't explain it properly, and maybe I didn't understand.
Well, you understand it now, though.
I do, 100%. Yeah, yes. I can't believe she lied to you, and she's a sergeant. She's going around lying to you guys. Do you want me to show you the video?
No.
Is it because you know that she's lying?
I don't know that she's lying.
I think you know. Okay. I think you know. I think you do know.
We're literally just going off what we've been told.
Yeah, what you've been told is a lie, though, is what I'm saying. I could show you the video now and show you that she's lying. What do you guys reckon? Your personal opinion?
My personal opinion doesn't matter. I don't work. My personal opinion has to stay at home when I come to work.
Well, use your detective skills then. What do you think?
This is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Speaking to you.
Well, yeah, I could have showed you the video.
To find out your version of events.
No, what you're doing is getting my details unlawfully.
Okay. I've already explained to you the reason why.
I could have showed you the video and then you would have no reason to get my details.
If you're happy to show me the video, I'm happy to watch it. It's not a problem.
Well, there's no point now because you've already given my details.
The officer unlawfully used Section 50 of the Police Reform Act to gain my details. Just like you've unlawfully used Section 5 to get my details, and then they offered me £1,000 for my trouble. I haven't used Section 5. What did you use? You've potentially committed an offense under Section 4A of the Public Order Act. Okay, Section 4A. Yeah, and that requires me to give my details. It doesn't require you to give your details. What I'm saying? No, you're twisting my words. The officer keeps hiding behind the word potentially. Potentially an offense. Potentially. Section 4A. That word is doing all the work because nothing substantive exists. Section 4A isn't triggered by someone maybe offending you at some point. It requires intent and actual impact, not speculation. What makes it worse is how the section keeps changing. 1 minute it's one power, then another, then something else entirely. That isn't officers narrowing things down, it's scrambling. If a real offense had been identified, the section wouldn't keep moving, and none of the powers being thrown around suddenly create a right to his personal details. Anyway,
so I might as well speak to my solicitor now and get my £1,000.
You've offered to show me the video, then that's fine.
Yeah, you see that your sergeant's a liar.
Well, show me it if you want to show me it. I'm not bothered.
Am I being detained?
No, you're free to go. Thank you for giving me your details. Just be careful where you're flying it.
No, I won't.
Obviously, bear in mind that side of the gate and the fence is private property.
Oh no, I've already been over there.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go over again.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
But bear in mind that you may be spoken to again by an officer if it's deemed that your drone's interfering with any police activities or anything like that.
All right, well, I've got permission to be here.
From
the Civil Aviation Authority.
Okay, have you got that in writing? Have you got anything on you can show me to confirm that?
Do I need to?
Well, I'm not just going to believe you, am I?
Well, I'm not just going to believe you that your sergeant's a liar.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to get drawn into this back and forth with you.
You've already been drawn into it.
I've spoken to you. I've ascertained what you're doing. As long as you're not interfering
what happened
with
to the
police
Section
activities,
4A?
That's fine. I'm not going to take any further action against it.
No further action?
Yeah.
Why? Because you know that she's a liar.
I'm going to give you words of advice.
No, I don't want your words of advice.
Well, I'm going to offer
you can stick your words of advice.
Right, I'm going to offer you them anyway.
No, I don't want them.
This is where any claim of fairness disappears. He repeatedly offers the simplest way to resolve it. Watch the footage and they refuse. One office even admits she's just going off what she's been told. That isn't assessment. It's blind acceptance. His explanation isn't weighed against evidence. It's ignored. They choose hearsay over footage being offered in real time, protecting a version of events they don't want challenged. Then, only after they've taken his details, the video suddenly matters. That timing says everything. If the footage were genuinely relevant, it would have been checked first. Watching it last is an investigation. It's damage control.
We'll be making a complaint. Okay. I will be suing. Thank you very much. What's your details?
6468.
From the station?
The moment they get his details, the whole situation dies on the spot. No offense pursued, no action taken, no interest left. Everything they had been saying up to that point, public order, terrorism, quoted sections, just vanishes. That isn't coincidence. If any of those claims actually mattered, they wouldn't have been dropped the second the paperwork was done. You don't abandon a real issue that fast. This interaction was never about resolving anything. It was about identifying him. Once that box was ticked, there was nothing left to do because there was never anything else planned. All the legal language before it wasn't a pathway. It was a tactic.
Yep.
Your details?
290.
From the station?
Yep.
And her details?
She'll find those out for you. I believe her name's Sergeant Wiltshire, or Wiltshire, my apologies.
Sergeant Wiltshire?
Yep.
And her numbers?
I don't know them.
Well, I need her numbers.
I don't know them.
We'll have to radio through then.
I don't know them.
She's the one that made the complaint. I need to make a complaint about the lying sergeant.
Just ask to speak to Sergeant Wiltshire. She works on Team 4 Patrol South at Elland Road. That's all you'll need.
Well, can't you just radio through and ask for her details?
No, because she's not actually on duty at the moment, because she was in, as you said, she was in a civilian car in a civilian clothing, so she's...
You could ring the control room and ask what her call number is.
I can't do that at the moment because I'm too busy, but you've got all the details.
But you weren't too busy to come and stop to talk to me?
Thank you very much.
Yeah? See you later, sausages.
I prefer bacon.
He says it's going to court because the entire encounter was built on things that never actually happened. A sergeant claims he swore when he didn't. Other officers repeat it without checking the Eakins footage, and arrest threats are used to force his details out of him. Once they get what they want, everything else disappears. That isn't a disagreement, it's misuse of power. And when officers decide a story is enough and evidence can wait, court is the only place left to deal with it. When News Now Yorkshire asks for caller numbers, the response isn't refusal, it's dismissal. Suddenly, they're too busy to provide the most basic detail that enables scrutiny. Yet minutes earlier, time wasn't an issue when they were stopping him, questioning him, threatening arrest, and pressing for his personal details. That contrast matters. Officers were decisive when they wanted information from him, but unavailable the moment he asked for accountability back. Footage that could clear the allegation was ignored. Identification that could support a complaint was treated as optional. They escalate fast, lean on threats, invent offenses, and push until they get compliance. Then they disengage. No action taken, no offense pursued, no interest left, and that's the giveaway. If this had been about public order second terrorism, or any real concern, it wouldn't have ended the second they got what they wanted. If you found value in this breakdown, make sure you like the video, share it, and subscribe to support the channel and help keep this kind of accountability in the spotlight. I'm the Audit Assessor. This was episode 11. See you guys later.